Hello and welcome. So we're going to talk a little bit more about triangle similarity today. So we are given two triangles. All right. Triangle on the left, triangle on the right, and now we need to determine are these two triangles similar? If so, by what criterion? And then just kind of listing everything that we do know. Okay? And then also writing the triangle similarity statement. So let's dive right into it. First thing is look at your triangle. What are you given? Right? For this one, we're given two sides and an angle, two sides and an angle. All right. Now remember, you have three triangle similarity criterions. You have angle, angle, or sometimes referred to angle, angle, angle. Honestly, as long as you have two of the three, you will have angle, angle, angle similarity. You just need two of the three. Okay. And then next we have side, angle, side, and side, side, side. Those are your three similarity criterion. So when you're first looking at this, you say, okay, what are you given? If you're given all angles, try for angle, angle similarity. In this case, we're given two sides and an angle. And most importantly, for side, angle, side, that angle has to be between the two sides, which it is, right? Side, side, angles between them. Side, side, angles between them, right? So we're going to be using side, angle, side today. But what if we weren't given that angle? What if we were given a third side? Then you'd want to try for side, side, side similarity. Alrighty, so let's look into this one. So first off, we need to determine are these similar triangles. So to do that, first off, double check your angles, right? They're congruent, they're both 60, so we know the A in side angle side is going to work. Now we just need to figure out, okay, in order to determine similar triangles with sides, you got to make sure your sides are proportional. That is the definition of similar triangles. You got to have proportional sides and congruent angles. Well, let's double check that. So we know that in order to do proportions, you have to identify the large sides, the smaller sides, right? The differences between them. Between these two numbers, 8 is the larger one. All right, and your other triangle between the two, 3 is the larger one. So that means that we would do, okay, 8 divided by 3, or you could do 3 divided by 8. It's an either or statement. Okay, but as soon as you pick one, be consistent. You'll notice that in our list of reasons below, it looks like it goes large over small, so we're going to do the 8 over 3 today. Okay, and then that would be your first proportion, right? So that's 8 divided by 3, that's 2 and 2/3. Okay, so that's about 2.6 repeated. So 2.6, this should be a 7 at the end, right? Okay, 6 repeating, and then we double check our other proportion where I'd say, okay, then we keep the same pattern where we went from the larger triangle to the smaller triangle, and we do 6 divided by 2, which is 3. And now we hit an interesting case. 2.6, is that the same as 3? They aren't, which means that you know right then and there that these triangles are not similar. If they were, then this would have to be not 2.6, that would have to be a 3. And if it was, then that would be similar by side, angle, side. All right, so that would be what would need to happen there. Well, let's keep going down this line. If we wanted to just finish the problem from here, right? You say, all right, so triangle PKR would not be similar. PK. Oh, that's not an R, it's a Q. Hello, I know my letters, I promise. Okay, PKQ is not similar to triangle. We just want to keep the same pattern, so we went P to K to R, which would be on this triangle RT to S, because it would leave the 60-degree at S, and it would go from our unknown side to our medium side on both triangles, so that would keep the pattern. So that would be RTS. Okay. And then from there and everything down below, you would check what you do know. So we know that angle Q and angle S, they are congruent to each other. Okay. They are because they're both 60. We don't know anything about angle P or angle R, so we can't say anything about that. We do know that for our proportion here, 6 divided by 2 is 3. This proportion, 8 divided by 3, we do know is 2.6 repeating. Okay, which means this is all we know. This would be your correct answer for putting in the box that yes, they're not similar, but you also know that, and that's telling you why it's not similar. Is main reason your proportions aren't equal. Now, what if instead, we had instead had not 3 over here? what if this was like 8/3? Then 8 divided by 8/3. When you divide a fraction by a fraction, you multiply by the reciprocal. So 8 multiplied by 3/8. 8's cancel, leave you with 3. If that had been the case, if this had been 2 2/3 instead of 3, then that would have given you the 3 as the proportion. It would have matched the 6/2, right? Which is 3, right? They would have both been 3, in which case we would have been able to say side angle side similarity, and then you would have said they're similar, right? PKR is similar, which you use that little fancy squiggle to say similar to triangle RTS by side angle side, right? And then you would essentially just check these 3 boxes. You wouldn't check the triangles are not similar, because this would not be, that would be 3 if you were to fix that. Okay, and you would be good to go. So just be careful, look at what you're given. You got to make sure all sides are proportional. When you get down to the checking boxes, it's really just a matter of check the boxes that you know are true there. Alrighty, thanks for watching.